improve. All right. That looks good-ish. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. All right. I'm looking at the live stream like on my browser, and on my browser it says, "Oh, everything's excellent." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's better." Okay. Everything was like this like weird milky white. Okay. Good. All right. All right. Quit fooling around, will you? Come on. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It is Tuesday night live stream. I'm your humblest of humble hosts, Sir Douglas of Munro. I don't know if you noticed, but on my thumbnail, I put the wrong number. I think I put the same number 2 weeks in a row. Something like 263. I can't. I don't know. But I screwed it up. I know that we're higher than that, like 264 or 5. I don't know. But I'll figure it out, won't I? Or I won't. Okay, so, man, you guys got here before me. Let's see, Jeff, looking forward to this week. Oh, you've been looking forward to this all week. The Monrovians. Okay. Phil's here. Yes, Atlanta Pinstripes. He got the toast ready for the Django Jam. I get it. Sharon's here saying hi to all the Dougsters. Yeah. Now my supper gonna be cold. Damn. You know, it's funny. That song, Traffic Jam. We did a gig at a place called La Zingara in Bethel, Connecticut, and that's sponsored by Thomas Carruthers. Tom Carruthers, great guy. And man, he just gets the best players. Oh my gosh. He's got another place that he's booking, and I'm just like, I just want to go out every week and see the people that are playing. And I'm lucky to be included in that group. But anyway, so, you know, we're doing our thing. And I'm like, hey, man, how about a blues song? Everybody likes the blues, right? So we did Traffic Jam. And, of course, that brought the house down. That little G blues, everybody loved it. And plus, you know, I talked about, this was in Bethel, Connecticut. So we were all commiserating over Route 84, especially where it runs in between the end of Route 684 in New York, and Route 84 turns into Connecticut and continues. And yeah, I call it the Cross Bronx North. All right, so I got the old Django Mobile out here. I thought I was never going to play this guitar again after the Django in June. I was so Django'd out. But here I am, Django'd in. It was good. I learned a bunch of stuff, and a lot of the stuff that I learned was interesting, like stuff like what not to do. But I did learn quite a few things, what to do. And I've got like 2 new songs, but I'm not ready to spring them on you yet. But I'll tell you. I'm doing, what am I doing? A song called Mimosa, you know, like the drink, a mimosa. And it's by, another Dorado Schmidt, and also with Hono Winterstein. And then I'm also working on Django Reinhardt's Festival 48. And both of those are great songs. And I've almost got them ready to go. But, you know, I just want to shed them for a minute. So why don't we get started with a little Webster. Webster, not Webster. Webster. E flat is the key. And yeah, not much to say other than to play it. So you know what they say, play it, don't spray it. Bridge. Oy vey. Well, that was a little bit of a rough start. Oh my God. Oy. All right. Let's see. Sharon says, how was everybody's fourth holiday? The big 250. Yeah, it was kind of a dud up here on the lake. We had, first we had like the killer heat wave. Then we had the killer rainstorms. We got, I think Sunday we got like 6, almost 7 inches of rain. Crazy weather. Yeah, so the 4th of July was rather subdued. It wasn't quite like the usual Armageddon up here on the lake. So, yeah. What can I say? It was what it was. Yeah. All right. Django Jam. I certainly jammed the shit out of that tune. I noticed today that almost every song I was looking at that I was like, oh, I'll use this. Oh, I'll play that. They all go to the 4 chord on the bridge. What are you going to do? What you going to do? I don't know. Let's see. How about we did a major one? Let's do a minor one. Douce Ambiance. That's the romantic intro, but the regular intro is. All right. There we go. Little Douce Ambiance. Webster on the Lupa. Yes. All right. Jeff says, under duress, my wife hauled me off to a multi-billionaire buddies 250 bash. Some interesting people and some new age trash. The house is 18,000 square feet, 6 guest houses, massive pool, etc. Oh, yeah, it sounds like my country home. Jeff said, cool tune, well played, thank you. Land of Pinstripe says, that gid fiddle looks like a big piece of furniture to use lemon pledge to clean it. No. Yeah, this poor thing has been through the ringer. The guy that owned it before me, Richard Shepard, great dude, great player, very aggressive player, and he beat the crap out of this guitar. And then I bought it. And I've kind of put my own Vance on it. I think probably in my lifetime I've probably used lemon pledge to clean a guitar. I'm really not known for like cleaning my instruments. I definitely like to change the strings on my instruments. And when I do, I use the lovely Labella strings. Been using them for over 30 years. Looks like 35 years at this point. And tonight I'm using the Gypsy Jazz Silk and Steel. And, you know, I know people freak out, especially the Gypsy guys. Man, you want to see a group of people that are unique. It's the Stone Gypsy Jazz guys. What to do, what you can't do, what you should do, the strings you can use, how you got to hold your thumb, your pick. Yeah. Anyway, I digest. Yeah, so this is a big old piece of furniture. I guess this guitar is starting to get old too. I'm trying to remember what year this guitar is. I keep thinking all my guitars are 2011, but I know they're not. They're all different ages. This could be a 2017? Could be. Could be. Maybe. I don't know. So, how back to a happy major tune in the key of C major. Yeah. There's been a lot. Oh, well, you know, like when you watch one thing, the algorithm sends you 50 of the same thing. So somehow I watched the Joe Pass video, and so I got a bunch of these like Joe Pass instructional videos coming my way. And the funny thing is that, you know, you get these guys and they're explaining what they do, and what they're leaving out is that they are genius. They're genius players. You know, him, Wes, Benson, Django, these truly are like genius players. And so like when they're explaining what they do, they're explaining the way that they see it. And it's not necessarily, it's not that it's wrong. It's not right or wrong, but it's sort of like they themselves, I'm not sure, are 100% aware of how much different it is for everybody else that's not like this major genius on the instrument, And so they just are seeing it from this sort of just super rarefied platform, that they're just incredible, intuitive, just gifted out the wazoo, as they would say. And so it's almost like I don't know if they assume everybody else is like that, but we're not. And so anyway, I get a kick out of watching those lessons, and I just say God bless them, and I love listening to their records, and I love hearing them talk about how they learned, and when you hear them talk about how they learned, that's when you can really see that, yes, this is like how a genius like learns this stuff, and Yeah. What was my point? I don't know. Because we started with talking about polishing my guitar. And somehow we wound up over here. All right. Let's see. Jeff said, no pledge ever. Of course, that is from 20-year plus furniture maker. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I usually... I know. How did we get off on that tangent? Because I talked about Shep, that he owned this guitar. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I never... I don't really clean my guitars. I mean, I really don't have to because I'm always using them, so they're not gathering moss. I just really have to change the strings. And yeah. And people don't throw stuff at me anymore because I'm old, so I don't have to clean anything off my guitar. Like when I'm on stage, I'm not getting hit with rotten tomatoes. At least not lately. All right, let's see. What should we do next? That was kind of nice, huh? That was kind of cool. It was kind of groovy. I know. I'm going to go back to major. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah. Swing 42. Oh, man. If you must, try Vaseline. I don't think so. Although Vaseline is petroleum jelly. It's like oil. Yeah. Swing 42. By Menon. All right. Jeff said, I like the tempo. Yeah, that was like a kind of mellow fellow. Land of Pinstripes put a alligator kind of thing. Stone Temple Pilots, Jeff. Oh, if you must try Vaseline. Yes, Stone Temple Pilots. I went over my head. Well, almost over my head. Kind of like over my shoulder. Let's see. No levity allowed. This is serious stuff. Yeah. So I was fooling around again with Improv number 2, and I was just kind of playing it for my own pleasure. So why not try it here? What's the worst that can happen? A lot. You know, I got to say, one thing that I do, and I know other guys do this too, but a lot don't, is that like this is like no prep, just live playing. And as you could tell in the beginning, that first song, I was making tons of mistakes, warming up, blah, 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 you know. But anyway, you know, a lot of cats, you know, like you'll see their posts and it's like, you know, this is the 500th take that they did. And it's so, mwah, you know. Or whatever. And I'm not saying that I've never done that either, because I have. You know, I've done sort of like prepared things where there was something I wanted to do and I made a backing track and I played till I got a nice take, you know. But it's also nice to just, you know, this is sort of like being on stage, you know, where you just come out and just, here you go. And some things are going to be great. Some things are going to be not so great, you know. Unless you're a genius, then everything you do is great. So obviously, I am no genius. True. All right. Jeff said, what's the story on this guitar? Okay. So this guitar does have a story. And the build on this guitar is interesting because, again, you know, the Stone Gypsy guys are like, oh, they turned their nose up at this guitar because this guitar is a Del Arte guitar, which is actually a very good company, and they make everything from super inexpensive Chinese imports to handmade instruments by John Kennard, a famous luthier out of California, and everything in between. This is part of. I thought the model of this was Lachodrome, but I think it is the brand of this style of guitar that they put out, and it's in the style of a French maker named Doug-Munro, and he made gypsy guitars with F-holes. All right, so this would be considered a low-end good guitar. You know, this is a good gypsy guitar, but it's not. You're not going to impress anybody. You know, with what this is, you know, as opposed to, you know, like if you have like a really cool DuPont or some, you know, famous of the modern makers, or God forbid you actually have a Selmer Macaferry guitar, which you're nuts if you take that out of the house. But yeah, so that's the manufacturing story with this guitar. But there's two other parts to this story. One is the uniqueness of this instrument, because even if you buy a, quote, assembly line instrument, they're all different. And I got to say that this particular guitar has the thinnest top you've ever seen. You know, I mean, yeah. And so it really makes it project. This guitar projects very well. And I just love the sound of it. It's got a nice tight sound. It's kind of barky, but not annoying. And it can cover both, you know, lead and rhythm. It sounds good. You know, it's just a good sounding guitar, as opposed to some of the purpose-built Django style guitars, where one is, you know, specifically really built for soloing and being the lead player, and others for comping. This is more of just a great sounding guitar that's in the gypsy build, you know, because they use a certain kind of bracing. They use ladder bracing, not X bracing. So the top is very prone to moving up and down. So I always have to keep a humidifier in my case to keep the top afloat, because if if humidity drops, the top drops, and all of a sudden my action is like on my laying on the neck. So anyway, that's a story with the guitar and the builder and its place in the pantheon of gypsy jazz guitars. I've owned 4 different gypsy jazz guitars, and 2 of them, one was made by John Kennard, and it was actually really good, and it was just at the scale length. It was a full scale length, 670 millimeters. This is 640, and it was killing my my arthritic hand. So unfortunately I had to sell that. But I did have a super expensive DuPont that was probably the most expensive guitar I ever owned, and I wound up selling it. It just wasn't for me. I don't know what to say other than it was like an Italian sports car. It was always in the shop. And then I saw Shep was selling this guitar, and he and I worked out a nice deal for this instrument, and I've never wanted since then. I've never felt that like this guitar is not serving me, and I'm happy. And again, I'm not out to prove anything with what instruments I own, where that's another thing too. You look at these guys. Okay, now I'm going to play the hokey pokey on my 1953 Gibson L5, and you're like, well, okay. You're going to play it on your $20,000 guitar. And, some of those guys are good players. I'll give it up to them. But some of them just own really expensive guitars. And people are just like, oh, yes. Oh, you're so, And I'm like, ugh. That's just me. I'm just old, bloated, and bitter. Let's see. That is one big floating bridge. Yeah. Well, it's not one piece. So it's called a mustache bridge. And you can see that the tips are actually glued down, and the middle part is a true floating bridge and just pops right out. Yeah, and it's called a mustache bridge, but it's in 3 pieces. Actually, this one is in 4 pieces because there's a little tiny piece over here that Chris Tatalia put in to center this on the neck, because again, over time, these things just move all over the place, Let's see. Jeff said when DuPont was building his guitars, they were great. He does not make his guitars. He has his people. Yeah. That happens with a lot of builders, But what are you going to do? Hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play another song. Oh, I know what I wanted to play. I wanted to try and play, I'm going to try and play Improv number 2. I'm going to probably screw this up and have to stop, and I'll curse and cry and throw myself on the floor. Okay, but I really love this song, so I just personally get a kick out of playing it. This is my version of Django Reinhardt's Improv number 2, and I'm pretty close. Like when I'm on it, and I don't screw it up, I would say I'm 95. I'd get like a 90 maybe from the Gypsy Police. But again, I do it for basically your enjoyment and my personal enjoyment. I just like playing it. So there you go. So it's just pretty, right? You know, I mostly just played for my own enjoyment. I just really, I don't know. It's such a timepiece, you know. Hey, Lisa Johnson's here, our Philly girl. Man, your teams are just the best. You know, the Phillies are doing great. The football team is great. Yeah, I love Philadelphia. I told y'all when my mother remarried, when Lydia remarried, she lived outside of Philly in Huntington Valley, Willow Grove. And so I used to go down and visit a lot and hang in Philadelphia, and I just loved it. I loved the vibe. And I know it's got its issues, it's got its problems. Every big city does, you know, but it's also got some great vibe. I really like that. Yeah. Wow, this is so different. Can't believe it's from a Mets fan. Yeah. Yeah, Lisa is a great person. And yeah, I really do. I like Philadelphia a lot. All right. Let's see. What else can I do? What else can I do to play for you? Oh, before I forget, I actually forgot on my newsletter. I'm such a knucklehead. Not this Saturday, but Saturday, July 18th, La Pomp Attack is back. And we're going to be at Jazz on Main in Mount Kisco, New York. Saturday, July 18th. One night only. The full La Pomp band. La Pomp and Circumstance. Yeah. So 7 o'clock. Go to there. You can go to my website. There'll be a link somewhere for tickets. You could go to Jazz on Main in Mount Kisco. Their website. Link for tickets. The place only seats 45. So get your tickets. And I'd love to see you there. And I'm really shitty at promoting. I try, though. I do. You know, I made a Facebook event. I got my girl, Lisa Zuckerberg. She has a thing called heariththere.com. And she, you know, you give her a little bread and she, like, shares your event with, like, 1 billion people. So I'm doing that. And I'm also doing stuff on LinkedIn and on the Instagram. Yeah, so I'm trying. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. Let's see. Yeah, why don't we do Lydia's favorite song? Little Nagasaki. Hot cinnamon and dynamite, that's what we drink each night. Way back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco, women wicky wacky woo. Although the way they entertain, they could hurry a hurricane. Way back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco, women wicky wacky woo. A Fujiyama, you get a mama, then your troubles increase. An up pagoda, you are a soda, earthquake, milkshake, 10 cents a piece. They hug and kiss so nice. By Django, it's worth the price. Way back in Nagasaki, where the fellas shoot tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo. That's what we drink each night. Way back in Nagasaki, where the fellas shoot a backy, women wicky wacky woo. Although the way they entertain, they could hurry a hurricane. Way back in Nagasaki, where the fellas shoot a backy, women wicky wacky woo. Fujiyama, you get a mama, then your troubles increase. In a pagoda, you order soda, earthquake milkshakes are 10 cents a piece. They hug and kiss so nice. By Django, it's worth the price. Way back in Nagasaki, where the fellas chew tobacco, women wicky wacky woo. Whoa! Okay. Let's see. Clouds. Yes. Nuage. Hey, nuage. Oh, no, that's French. Nuage. Nuage. So I've been watching a lot of Korean series on Netflix, and I love it. I love checking out other cultures, and I've never been to Korea or Japan or China, and so I'm fascinated by the Southeast Asian culture, because they just see things differently than we do, here in America. And, yeah, I don't know what made me think of that, but yeah. Boom, 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 boom. So Nuage, yeah, that's a great tune. That was the, they say, I wasn't there, and so I'm always a little leery of taking things as Bible in verse when somebody says, well, Nuage became the unofficial national anthem of France during World War II. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. And, but is it true? I mean, there's no way to prove it's not true. I told you I didn't tell you about the funny thing that happened at Django in June. Maybe I did tell you, but I just forgot, so I'm going to tell you again. At Django in June, we, we're sitting around shooting the bull, probably after dinner before going to jam sessions or whatever. And I don't know what it was, but somebody said that they knew the person that invented Casual Fridays. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, I was somewhere, so-and-so and such at such and such a party, and everybody's talking, and this guy goes, yeah, well, I'm the guy that invented Casual Fridays. And I just thought that was just the funniest thing, just the funniest thing I'd ever heard. Because how do you prove it? I could walk around going, hey, I'm the guy. I started Casual Friday, and so it just tickled me. So for the whole rest of the time that we were there, if I was, talking with people and they were saying about, how great they were or who they knew and what they did and where they'd been, and I'd be like, yeah, well, I invented Casual Friday. Okay. I'm done. Let's see. Land of Pinstripe said, always a welcome tune. Yeah, Nagasaki. Yeah, 1928. Sharon says that she gets the Hear It There newsletter. Yeah, that's a good one. If you're up in this area, New York, Connecticut, Jersey, I don't know if it reaches into Philadelphia, but most of my gigs are in those states. I don't really travel. I haven't traveled far. I mean, if I go out to Seattle to visit my kids, I'll set up some gigs out there. But, I mean, I guess that counts, but you know what I mean. It's if I wasn't going to see my kids, I'm not going to go out there for a $200 gig and, fly myself and my wife out and, it's going to cost us $4,000. I'll make $200. Yeah. So, so I'm mostly a New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania dude. And I haven't really been doing a lot of Pennsylvania stuff. I only had a few contacts there, and one of my main contacts moved on. And without contacts, you can't see. You got to get glasses. A glasses joke. All right. Nuage. La 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 la. Nuage, one of my all-time faves. Yeah. Yup. 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 Okay, what the hell is Casual Friday? Robinson Crusoe's Chill Out Bash. Yeah. Any any relatives to visit Atlanta way? No. If I was still at the college, I would do stuff when they would have IAJE, the International Association of Jazz Educators National Conference. The school would pay for me to go every year. And so yeah, I went to Montreal, Atlanta, New Orleans, a bunch of places. And then, of course, you'd hook up gigs, down in those areas. But no, I got no business in Atlanta. I would love to. And I'm open, But the truth is that you got to be recommended for something, So like if you know somebody, you got a contact, you got a place, you got a festival, you got an in, get me in. I'll be there. Solo, duo, trio, quartet. Whatever they want, whatever they can afford. You're welcome, Jeff. I enjoyed playing that too. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, man. Time flies when you're having fun. And I did have fun tonight. I really did. I did. Let's see. I think I did What Is This Thing Called Love last week, didn't I? Because that was kind of fun because it was sort of unexpected. It was like a loop spectacular. Because something I'm planning on doing, ladies and gentlemen, something I'm planning on doing is I'm going to do a loop challenge. See if anybody responds. Because I got to say one thing, ladies and gentlemen. I got to say one thing, America, world, that a lot of the looping stuff I see, to me, I'm not really into those kind of like one chord or two chord grooves. It's not like really a song. And so like the guy starts with a beat, book, 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 right? Then he runs over, picks up a bass, boom, 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 right? Runs over and picks up a guitar. So first of all, he's running around for like 5 minutes. And then when the whole thing is done, it's not a song. Like when I use the looper, I'm creating songs, and you're not sitting there for 10 minutes while I'm creating a song. The longest you sit there is if I play through a series of chord changes and I don't sing. And if I sing and loop at the same time, you don't even know I'm looping because I'm just like singing and playing, and I'm making the loop while I'm singing, and then off I go. And I do intros, and I do my wacky endings, and I don't hear any of these guys doing any of that stuff. And so I'm going to throw a challenge out to all the so-called big-time loopers. I'm a big-time looper, bro. And it's like, I use Ableton, and, I have 50,000 instruments that I can grab and throw on, And I'm like, well, that's great, but, like, are you making music, or are you just making, like, a groove, And, like, when I come out to a club and watch you do this, could you imagine after, like, what are you going to do like after 3 songs? It's just like the same shit over and over again, But that's just me. But anyway, that's something I'm thinking of doing. And the reason why I say, what is this thing called love? I accidentally, by doing that, I kind of did some interesting loop things. Like I started with this, because what is this thing called love starts with it's in the key of C, and it actually starts with a pedal in C. Right? And so you have this loop going. And first of all, how many of those guys out there can make a loop this tight without like, they use like, I don't know what they use, maybe Ableton or something, and it has like an automatic, it locks it in, like somehow it has like some like automatic metronome brain. And so like all your loops are like perfect. I'm literally just using a pedal, and I got to step on the pedal at at the right time. Anyway, so then I do the whole melody, right? So I'm doing the song over a loop that took me 2 seconds, right? And I keep it even for the bridge. Right? And so then I'm doing this with my hand and I'm erasing the loop. Now I put down a walking bass of those changes. Bridge. So now I got that loop. I could do the melody again. And then I could add chords. Pretty, right? Then I could blow over this. And then when I'm done with that, right, I'm done blowing, erase that loop while I'm doing this, add this loop back. And now I can play the head again from the beginning and wrap it all up, right? Then I can add some funky stuff. How about C major to C minor using my freeze pedal? And then it's done. All right. So, you know, there you go. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you use looper. That is how. That's how to use looper creatively, I think, to make music, to play songs, to improvise, and I don't have 100% of everything worked out, And so when I go out and I do a solo gig, I do solo gigs that are like 3 hours long, and nobody is coming up and going, oh man, that's the same shit over and over and over again. Actually, people come up and like, what are you doing? I don't get what are you doing? And so I'd rather have it be that, where I'm using the looper to make music, and maybe somebody else's concept of music is, just like a long vamp. But again, like a lot of these people are, like bedroom musicians, right? Like who's out touring, bringing like every instrument they own, setting all this shit up. First of all, where are you going to set it up? You're playing like stadiums. You're going to play like some like little club, and you're going to set up your Ableton and all this other crap. You're going to, I got to show up at 2:00 for my 9:00 show. And they're like, well, we don't open until 6, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah. So I'm thinking about doing a challenge, the looper challenge. All right. So I guess I should leave you with a song, shouldn't I? Because like, I'm like just babbling on here. Okay. Let's see. Cool looping lesson. Doug is a smart player. Thanks, Sharon. How about we just hey, we end on a blues. I said, damn, this traffic jam. Well, how I hate to be late. It hurts my motor to go so slow. By the time I get home, my supper be cold. I said, damn, this traffic jam. I left my job around 5 o'clock. Took 15 minutes just to go 3 blocks. Just in time to stand in line with the freeway. It's looking like a parking lot. I said, damn, this traffic jam. Almost had a heart attack. Saw myself the next car back, looking in the rearview mirror, about to have a heart attack. I said, damn this traffic jam. When I die, I don't want no coffin. I thought about it much too often. Just strap me in behind the wheel. Bury me right here in my automobile. I said, damn this traffic jam. I said, damn, this traffic jam. Well, how I hate to be late. It hurts my motor just to go so slow. By the time I get home, my supper be cold. I said, damn this traffic. Hey, buddy, won't you move over? Damn this traffic jam. Hey, now, buddy, now don't you go too slow. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there we go. I see hearts are just flowing up through the chat bar. Thank you so much, so much, so much, so much. Yeah, so before we go, don't forget about Labella Strings, the great Labella String Company. And also, don't forget to visit my website, sign up for my newsletter, get a free download every week. And if you're interested in studying with me, come over here to truefire.com. I got tons of stuff up there that you could check out. You could also take lessons with me through TrueFire. Can you believe it? Yes, it's true. Fire. I'm actually wearing their shirt. Ignited we stand. That's their motto. Or was, is, could be, was, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's it. That's it for this week. Oh, another thing. Next week, I will not be here. There will be no Tuesday night live. I'm going to be at Litchfield Jazz Camp all next week, seeing all my friends up there that I see like once a year. So I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. A big thank you to Albert Rivera and Don Braden, Vita Muir for inviting me back all these years. I think this is my 15th year, and I'm so grateful that I keep getting asked back. And yeah, so that's where I'm going to be next week. So no Tuesday night live stream. And don't forget that Saturday, July 18th, if you're in the area and you can make it, come out to Jazz on Main. I think it is the premier jazz venue in Westchester County. I think that's what it was voted. And it's a great place. Come on out, show some love, show some support, and see us live and in person. The great Albert Rivera, Sir Michael Getz. And yeah, and we're going to have a sub drummer. Instead of Ian Carroll this time, we're going to have the great Matthew Norris. Yes. Matt Norris. All right. So that's it. Have a great week. God bless everybody. Thank you so much for making my Tuesday night so enjoyable. And until next time, I wish you love, peace, and just a little pinch of that